Morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope you're all doing well. Um, so we're going to talk about an updated half marathon training program today. Okay, Coach Jason here from Top Line Running. Hope you're all doing well. If you have any questions along the way, for those that might be listening in, put them in the comments. Okay. If anybody has any more specific questions they want to get into, you can send me an email. blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com is my email address. I give it to everybody who watches the videos here. So, and again, coaches and athletes, you're more than welcome to engage. I'd like to have a dialogue with all of you, and especially if you're a coach, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, please. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Next week, I'm going to do a 12-week updated marathon training program. Okay, I did my first initial videos years ago, but programs evolve over the years, right? And the fact is, as athletes get more experience, as they get fitter, as they start to want to do different races, it's important to modernize your training programs along the way to incorporate things that you may not have incorporated before. Because even as a coach, you never stop learning. There's an evolution to our coaching philosophies, or at least there should be. Okay. And so I wanted to talk about that today. And again, if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask, but we'll get right into this. Okay. A new and updated half marathon training plan. Again, it's going to be 12 weeks in duration. Okay. So before I go any further, the way I have this plugged in, you'll see a day off every other Sunday. Okay. If you need to modify that, you modify it. Some folks will be working full time and can only run 5 days a week. You modify the training accordingly to suit your needs. You build the training around your life and not your life around the training. Okay. So that needs to be said. Okay. So without further ado, let's get right into this. 2-week blocks on each slide. Okay. You'll see a consistent pattern. Monday's always an easy day. Okay. Tuesday's a workout day, and sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday. Really depends on the day. Okay. So and again, I don't plug in any races here. You can plug in races accordingly as you see fit as well. So, but Monday's an easy day, 5 miles. Okay. And this is just a basic platform of mileage. So you modify this as you see fit too. Tuesday, a good warm up, drills and strides. The workout itself is 8 times a 300-meter uphill runs. Okay. And then you jog down nice and easy as always. And then you do a cool down. Now you can also add a transitional piece. You can add a mile tempo in the beginning, or 2 mile tempo in the beginning to elevate the heart rate. Then you can transition into the hills. But hill running is a good form of strength training and speed development at the same time. And it's especially effective when you're running for a marathon. Okay. And the more efficient you are with your running cadence and your running posture, the better off you're going to be in these long races. So that's Tuesday's workout. Wednesday is going to be, we're building in a semi-long run. There should be 2 days where you're going to be on your feet a little bit longer than the rest of the week. One of them's a semi-long run. The other one's either the longer workout or the long run itself. Right now, 6 miles easy on Wednesday. In the long run day, the semi-long run should be an easier pace than the Thursday steady run. Okay. And if you've seen any of my recent videos, I break down easy pace versus steady pace and the progression between the two. So take a look at my most recent live streams. You'll see how I break this down. Okay, and you do 4 times 200 at the end of the 5 mile steady on Thursday. Friday, your easy run 4 miles. Okay, Saturday, a long run 8 miles. Now you can build this in. If you're half marathon, you're looking to run as a rolling course. You can run your long run over 8 miles. Okay, and you do it over a rolling course. If it's flat, you can do mostly flat. Simulate the race that you're looking to run in 12 weeks. Okay. The first week is just easing yourself into just with 1 workout. Then we'll move into 2 workouts. Okay. And then 4 miles easy on Sunday. Now, week 2, as always, 5 easy on Monday. Now, we're going to complement the uphill runs on week 1 with 300-meter reps flat on week 2. So now it's warm up drills and strides, 8 times the 300 meters flat on the track or whatever. With 100-meter jogging, you're running these at 5K pace, which acts as a form of speed development for the half marathon. Okay. And then you have your cool down on the back end. Again, you could put the transitional piece, let's just say a mile or 2 mile at that tempo pace. You can do it in the beginning of the workout. You could also do it at the end of the workout. It's up to you to decide. Okay. Either way, it's fine. Wednesday, 6 miles easy. Now you're going to throw some strides. 5 times 50-meter strides on Wednesday. Why? It's because you have a Friday workout. And you want to help flush out a little bit of that stuff from Tuesday's workout out of your legs. Okay. Thursday's 5 steady. Friday, warm up, drills and strides. First workout here is 8 times an 800 meters at threshold pace. Okay, threshold pace with a 1 minute recovery after each rep. Okay, then you do your cool down. And then the long run now is 10 to 12 miles easy. And again, you modify the volume as you see fit. Okay, but if you're training for the marathon, you want to at least get up to 10 or 12 or even longer than that. And the folks that are running in college, if you're training for a 10K, folks get up to 14, 16, 18 miles. So if you're training for the half marathon, that might be a good idea to consider doing that as well, particularly early in your cycle. But you've got to build into the volume no matter what. So it's 10 to 12 miles easy on long run on Saturday to complement the Friday workout, and then you're off on Sunday. Okay, that's week 1 and 2. Now, you'll see a progression over time here. And I have it broken down. Each 4 weeks, you'll see a little bit of a different modification of the training in each 4-week block. That gives you a chance to adapt to the training. It's called periodization. Okay, so now week 3 and 4, Monday easy. Tuesday, we're doing uphill repeats like we did on week 1, but now we're going from 8 times 300 to 8 times 400 with a jog equal down recovery. Okay, you good warm up, you good drills and strides, you good cool down on the back end. It's up to you to decide whether you want to add a transitional piece to it. You don't have to, but it's a great complement to the workout. Wednesday, 6 miles easy. Thursday, 5 miles steady, 4 times a 200. Afterward, it's just some speed development. You can run them at 5K pace, 3K pace, whatever you find. 3K pace is fine as well. And take an equal jog recovery. Now, Friday's workout. Warm up, drills and strides. You're going to run 4 miles at your goal half marathon pace. Okay, whatever that might be. If you're looking to run half marathon at 6-minute pace, you're going to run the workout at that pace. Ooh, we got a comment here. Hey man, how are you? This is the beginning, William David. This is only week. You see the top weeks 3 and 4. I've been doing a 12-week cycle, William. So weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 are early season. Weeks 5 through 8 are mid season. Weeks 9 through 12 are late season. So, and again, if you miss weeks 1 and 2, you can watch the replay as well, and that way you don't miss anything. But right now we're just kind of setting the stages for the next cycle in your training, William, if that makes sense. So back to it again. 8 times 400 meter uphill. And you got your workout on Friday. 4 miles at your goal half marathon pace. And you want to have a good warm up. You want to have drills and strides. Okay. And for this particular workout, if you're looking to run at a half marathon pace in 6 minutes, you're going to run a couple 200s after the warm up and try to find the pace. 44 to 45 seconds. That helps you lock into the pace before you run that segment of the workout itself. Puts you ahead of the game. So 4 miles at goal half marathon pace. Take a 5-minute active recovery, and then 4 times a 400 on the back end with a 1-minute recovery at 10K pace. So you're dropping the pace down a little bit. Then you have your cool down. So it's 5 miles worth of volume of itself in a workout. Okay. Then your long run 8 to 10 miles on Saturday. And again, you modify the volume as you see fit. Then 4 easy on Sunday. Week 4, easy on Monday. Okay, and then we're complementing the uphills with the flats. So now you can do warm-up drills and strides. Now you can do 8 times a 400-meter flat on the track if you have available to you with a 100-meter jog at 5K pace, which acts as pure speed development for the half marathon. And then you have your cool down on the back end. Okay, then semi-long run, 6 miles easy, and 5 times 100-meter stride on the back end on Wednesday to help flush out Tuesday's workout. 5 steady on Thursday, 4 easy on Friday, and 10 to 12 mile progression run. Now, progression run is essentially a range, about 90 seconds. Okay, where on the back end of it, the end of the progression run, you're going to be touching goal pace. So if you're looking to run 6 minutes for the half marathon, you're going to be finishing the progression run at that pace. But you're going to start at 7:30 per mile, 90 seconds slower, and you work towards that over the course of the run. If you're looking to run 7-minute pace, you start at 8:30. Okay, you're looking to run 7:30 pace, you start at 9 minutes, and so on. Looking to run 5 minutes for the half marathon, you start at 6:30, and you progress towards the goal half marathon pace. Okay, and then off day on Sunday. That's week 4. And the question here. No problem, William. You're welcome. Now let's go into weeks 5 and 6. Now the next cycle. As always, easy on Monday. Okay, now we're adding a little dynamic to Tuesday's workout. We're going to bookend the uphills. Okay, remember I said every 4 weeks adding something. This is what we're adding this cycle here. Good warm up, drills and strides. Now you're going to run a 2K rep. Let's just say at a half marathon pace. Okay, Take a 3-minute recovery. If you need to take a little bit more, you take a little bit more. Then 10 times a 300 uphill, jog equal down recovery. Okay, take the same 3 minutes or whatever it might be after the last hill. And then you're going to run another 2K rep at your goal half marathon pace again. So now you're sandwiching speed development in between the bookends of half marathon pace, adding some variety to the workout itself. Okay, then you have your cool down on the back end, because this is when the most voluminous workouts, I mean the highest volume workouts, will be in this weeks 5 through 8 cycle. Okay, then 7 miles easy on Wednesday. We added a mile to the semi-long run, right? Okay, 5 steady on Thursday, 5 times 100-meter strides. And again, that progression, when I say progression run, you're going to start from easy pace to steady pace, whatever that might be. So sometimes it's slower than half marathon pace, and if that's the case, then so be it, right? So it's a 45-second range from easy. So let's just say you start at 8:30, you go to 7:45 pace for easy, then your steady runs, who are always going to be shorter than the easy runs, are going to be that 7:45 to 7-minute pace, and so on. It's that other 45-second cycle, which is the second half of that progression pace. Okay, I would encourage you to take a look at the last couple live streams I did, because I broke down paces for this type of stuff. And I'm also going to do, what can I run for the half marathon and the marathon if I run this for a 5K? That's going to be my next cycle after I do my marathon training plan next weekend. So get ready. Okay, so five steady on Thursday, 5 times 100-meter stride. Now, Friday's workout. Warm-up drills and strides. You do a couple of maybe 2 or 3 times a 200 with a 200-meter jog recovery at threshold pace. Whatever that threshold pace is for the workout that you're looking to run. Okay, and threshold pace, every pace that you run should be appropriate to the current fitness that you have right now. And you're going to progress towards your goal fitness. So you go from current to goal. That gives you a good way of tracking your fitness and keeping yourself healthy while you do it. Okay, so 8 times 1K with a 1-minute recovery at threshold pace. Okay, so we've gone from 8 times an 800, now we've gone to an 8 times 1,000. So you're spending a little bit more time in the threshold zone. Okay, you're getting fitter. It's a way of showing the progression of your fitness as well. Cool down on the back end, then long run, 11 to 14 miles on Saturday, 4 easy on Monday. And again, if you have the ability to do rolling long runs, I encourage you to do it. Continually build that strength, okay, over the course of a season. It also makes it easier for you to step up. If you want to step up to the marathon after this, if you want to step back down to the 5K or whatever after this, you have the ability to do either if you set up your training appropriately. Okay, so week 6, easy Monday. Okay, now look at Tuesday's workout. Okay, now if you go back to week 5, we start 2K flat, then uphills in the middle, and flat on the back end. Now we're going to go rolling in the beginning. So you're going to do a mile after you warm up your drills and strides. We're going to do a mile over rolling hills. Take that 3 to 4 minute recovery, then 8 times a 400-meter on the flats. Let's say it's on the track. 200-meter jog. You go progress from 10K pace down to 5K pace. And you take the same 3-minute recovery or 4-minute recovery after the last one, and then you do another mile rolling over rolling hills, and then you cool down. Okay, so we're bookending now the flats in the middle with hills on the back end instead of the other way around. Okay, Wednesday's workout, we added another mile to the semi-long run, 8 miles easy, 5 times a 50-meter stride. Flush out Tuesday's workout, 5 steady on Thursday. Then Friday, okay, we're going to go back to what we did on week 3. Something similar. We're going to add a mile to the goal half marathon pace, right? Warm-up drills and strides. Do a couple of 200s at your goal half marathon pace, whatever it might be. 5 miles at half marathon pace now is the workout. Take a 6-minute active recovery, and then 4 times 600 on the back end with a 2-minute recovery. Progress from 10K pace down to 5K pace. Okay, and then you do your cool down. Okay, and then 10 to 12 miles easy on Saturday, and mostly flat if you have the ability to do that, so that you can maximize the recovery after Friday's workout. Then you're off on Sunday. Okay, that's week 5 and 6. Okay, we're in the middle of the most intense training cycle. Okay, next up, week 7 and 8. Easy Monday. Tuesday, warm-up drills and strides. Now look at this. You're going to do 2 miles at threshold pace. Okay, take about a 4 to 5 minute active recovery. Then you do 5 times an 800 with a 2-minute recovery. After each rep, a 10K pace down to 5K pace. Okay, take the same 4 to 5 minute recovery after the last rep, and then you can do another 3 miles at threshold. So you're going threshold, faster stuff, and then threshold. Okay. Maximizing your fitness, maximizing your ability to run multiple paces. Okay. This is a great way of extending your fitness in a lot of different areas. Like I said, making it easier to move up or to move down. Okay. And then you do your cool down. 8 miles easy on Wednesday is your semi long run, 6 steady on Thursday, and 5 times at 300 meters on the back end. Dude, let's just say it's at 3K pace, 100-meter jog recovery after each rep. Then 4 miles easy on Friday. And then you can do progression run of 12 to 14 miles. Again, 90 seconds out, progressing towards your goal half marathon pace, whatever that might be. And that doesn't mean you need to run the last bunch of the run. If you get to the point where you're running, okay, and let's just break it down too. Let's just say you do 12 miles. Every 4 miles, you're going to run a segment of a little bit faster than the previous one. So let's say you start at 7:30 and you work your way down to 7 minutes. You do that over the first 4 miles. Then from there you go start at 7 minutes and work down to 6:30. You do it over the next 4 miles. And then from 6:30 to 6 minutes, you do over the last 4 miles. Okay, you progress gradually throughout these runs. It helps you improve your threshold, helps you improve your ability to handle harder stuff. It's going to help build a lot of mental toughness and fortitude, which you need in these longer races. Okay, and 4 miles easy on Sunday. Monday, week 8, easy on Monday. Okay. Now Tuesday, this one's the doozy. Okay, this is a tough simulation workout. Okay, warm up drills and strides. It's 2 sets of 4K, 3K, 2K. Okay, the 4K reps at half marathon pace. The 3K rep is at 10K pace. The 2K rep is at 5K pace. And again, this is probably your most intense, highest volume workout in the cycle. You could take let's just say you take a 4 or 5 minute recovery after the 4K rep, 3 to 4 minute recovery after the 3K rep, and then after 2K rep, you could take 6 to 8 minutes and then repeat the set. Okay, you want to try to minimize the recovery in between the reps in the set, but then it's okay to maximize the recovery in between the sets itself. Because if you think about it, if you're running half marathon race, how much rest do you get? 0. Okay, so we're trying to make this as intense as possible. And if you add it up, you're looking at 17, 18K worth of volume. Okay, it's a lot of volume. And you got to build towards it. So if you can't handle that volume, you modify accordingly. You can go 3K, 2K, 1K instead of 4K, 3K, 2K at the same paces. Okay, cool down on the back end. And Wednesday's 8 miles easy, 5 times 100-meter stride, flush out that workout Tuesday, 5 steady on Thursday. Then week 8, okay, we've gone from 8 times 1K threshold a couple weeks ago. Now we're going 8 times 1200 meter at threshold with a 1 minute recovery after each rep. You're spending more time in the threshold zone at the same paces. So after you warm up, you do a couple 200s at threshold pace, you do the workout, and then you have a nice cool down at the back end. And 12 to 15 miles rolling, nice and relaxed on Saturday is the long run, and then you're off on Sunday. Whenever we do an intense kind of Friday and Saturday like that, high volume, there's always going to be off on Sunday to help you recover from it. We got another comment here. Brutal. Well, again, if you're in this, again, this isn't necessarily, I encourage other folks, if you're a beginner half marathon, I encourage other folks to watch my other half marathon video because that's a little bit more appropriate to them. But as you get fitter and more experienced, you want to transition towards these workouts, right? You need to test yourself for a half marathon. And it's twice as long as 10K, more than that. So, but I totally understand brutal. I totally understand brutal, William. I get it, man. I really do. But I mean, again, you modify as you see fit. Okay. But I wanted to give people the updated kind of half marathon training program because a lot of people have been asking me for it. So, and it's important to see the evolution from the old one to this new one and how you can enhance your fitness. And as you enhance your fitness, you enhance the workouts too to help complement your fitness. Okay. So now let's move on. Last 4 weeks, weeks 9 and 10. Okay. 5 easy Monday. Then Tuesday, warm up drills and strides. And then you're going to do 2 sets of 8 times at 400. Okay. The first set's going to be at 10K pace with a 45-second recovery. Then let's just say take 4 to 5 minutes rest in between sets, and then you do 8 times 400 with a 60-second recovery at 5K pace. Okay. The second set's faster, but both sets are faster than half marathon pace. This is good speed development, which helps you transition into the more specific workouts that you'll be doing in the next couple of weeks leading into the half marathon itself. This is a good bridge workout. Okay. Oh, we got another comment here. What do we got? Ex-collegiate 400-meter runner trying to transition to, yeah. Yeah, well, this is the thing. You need to see, and I appreciate you saying that, William. It's important to see the progression in training as you get more experience, as you start to move up towards the longer races. Okay, but I also leave, I spread out the workouts so that you can maximize recovery in between them. What I'm noticing is a lot of people do way too many workouts, okay, or either not enough volume in the workouts and so on and so forth. If you want to prepare for a half marathon race, you've got to have some higher volume in the workouts. You can't do workouts that you would do for the 5K if you train for the half marathon. It's just not going to benefit you the same way. Okay, but yeah, if you're a former collegiate 400-meter runner, you definitely want to build up your fitness, and this is where threshold training comes into play for you. So, and again, everything I do is a gradual progression in volume. We're just adding volume to the pace you're looking to run. That's one way you can monitor fitness, right? You can add volume to the fitness, or you can cut recovery in workouts, or you can run the same workout faster. Those are three surefire ways of telling yourself or showing, how am I improving fitness, or am I improving fitness? And the fourth part is, are you recovering better after doing the same workout? Right? That's another way of monitoring your fitness. You should be recovering better from the same workouts too. Okay, so back to week 9. So Tuesday's workout, then 8 miles easy on Wednesday. That's the semi-long run, 5 times 150. Okay, and when I was training for this stuff, my semi-long runs were 12 to 13 miles. Training for a half marathon. So this is a lower end in the volume, but again, some people would, want to add a little bit of volume. This allows you to kind of do it appropriately by spreading out the workouts and stuff. So now back to it. Steady 6 miles on Thursday, Friday's workout again. Okay, now we're adding to what we did. Again, it's a progression of what we did a couple weeks ago. We did 5 miles at half marathon pace now. We did 4 before that. Now we're doing 6 miles at half marathon pace. You do your warm up, your drills and strides, you do a couple of 200s as you go half marathon pace. Then you do 6 miles at half marathon pace, take a 6-minute active recovery, and then 4 times an 800 with a 2-minute recovery at 5K pace. Okay. Tough workout. But if you want to run a half marathon, these are good workouts, important workouts. And then you do your cool down. Then easy 10 to 14 miles on Saturday, 4 miles easy on Sunday. Okay. Always easy on Monday, which gives you extra days to recover from Friday's workout. Or if it's the workout Saturday, you still have at least 2 days to recover after the workouts, as you should. Okay, so Monday's 5 easy in week 10. Then Tuesday, warm up, drills and strides. Then you can do 6 times 2K with a 2-minute recovery at go half marathon pace. So you do a couple 200s after you warm up and you go half marathon pace, whether it's 6 minutes or 5 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it might be. Okay. And 6 times the 2K, it's 12K worth of volume. 2-minute recovery. This is a good repeat here. And this also is a great transitional workout as you step up towards the marathon as well. Good marathon workout here. Okay, and then you do your cool down. 8 miles easy on Wednesday. 6 steady on Thursday. Okay. You can even add some strides on Thursday if you like. You don't have to. 4 miles easy on Friday. And then Saturday's another key. This is the key week too. Okay. Do you warm up your drills and strides? Now you're going to do an 7 to 8 mile half marathon pace simulation run. So you're going to run 7 to 8 miles at your goal half marathon pace. It's going to be your last long bout at goal half marathon pace continuously before the half marathon itself. You're building off what you did the week prior with 6 miles, and then the 4 times an 800, which is essentially 8 miles worth of volume. Well, here you can put it all together in the same workout. Okay. I want these transitions to look visually, sensible to you. I want you to look at it and say, okay, this makes sense. I can see the progression from this week to this week to this week to that week, and so on. Okay. So a 7 to 8 mile half marathon pace simulation run, then you do your cool down. Okay, whether it's a mile, 2 miles, whatever it might be. And then you're off on Sunday. You got to recover from that. Okay, now we're going down to the last 2 weeks here. Okay, weeks 11 and 12. 5 easy on Monday as always. Okay, now we're cutting back the workout that we did last week. Okay, so warm-up drills and strides, do a couple 200s at half marathon pace and 10K pace. Whatever the pace progression in the workout is, are the paces you should run the 200s in. Okay, so now it's 6 times a mile with a 2:30 recovery, progressing from half marathon pace to 10K pace. Then you do your cool down. Okay, this is your last higher volume workout. Then 8 miles easy on Wednesday, 6 steady on Thursday, 5 times 50-meter stride. Those 50s, those 200s, those 100s, this is basic speed development. And speed development is an all-year thing, no matter where, no matter when you're training. Whether it's summer, whether it's off-season, whether it's, doesn't matter. Speed development's an all-year-round thing. Okay, so 4 miles easy on Friday. And then Saturday, your final long run, 8 miles. But you're going to run the final 4 miles of that at your goal half marathon pace. You want to know what it feels like at the end of the long run, because that's when you're going to need to really tap into the half marathon pace at the end of these races. Okay, this is when you want to hold on to the goal pace, right? And some people will use a half marathon to qualify for the marathon, like New York City. You can use a half to qualify for New York. So, and that's just an example. That may apply to other places as well. But this is where you can lock into the pace and kind of execute your goal and hopefully qualify for something longer. Okay, and 4 easy on Sunday. Now, race week. Okay, 5 easy on Monday. Warm up drills and strides on Tuesday. Last little maintenance workout. It's 5 times an 800 with a 2-minute recovery at 10K pace. That's it. 2.5 miles worth of volume. At this point, the work is done. But you want to maintain that consistency of what? Going hard at least twice per week. Okay? Tuesday's the workout, Saturday's the race. And you modify it for if the race is Sunday, and then you switch the week around a little bit. Okay? But 6 miles easy Wednesday, 5 times 100-meter strides. Thursday, you're off. If you race on Saturday, your off days on Thursday. If you race on Sunday, your off days on Friday. Okay, 2 days before the race, never the day before the race. Okay, so Thursday's off. Friday, 3 miles easy, just to keep the legs moving and shake them out so that they feel good the day beforehand. Now, race day Saturday, let's just say it's Saturday. You warm up, let's just say 5 to 7 minutes. Do a couple of strides or drills if you need to, stay loose. And then it's showtime, half marathon race. Okay. And if you feel like cooling down 5 to 7 minutes on the back end, you can. You don't have to, though. Okay. But I encourage you to do a 2 to 3 mile shakeout the next day. And then you can start your recovery. And you start your rest period, whatever it might be, a week, 2 weeks, and so on. But I would always encourage you to run the day after to help flush out the legs. So your legs don't feel as beat up the day after a half marathon race. Okay. So I hope you found this helpful. Hope this makes sense. And again, if anybody has any more questions, put them in the comments now before I wrap it up. Okay. But again, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com is my direct email for those that have questions, the coach or an athlete. Okay. And anybody that's watching right now, it's not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Next weekend, I'm going to do an updated marathon training plan. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to do what can I run for the half marathon and the marathon if I run this for a 5K. Okay. So the more distance oriented, kind of setting up paces for everything instead of the middle distance stuff that I did the last couple of weeks. I want to give you the both sides, and especially if you're a coach and you coach multiple events, whether it's super long or middle distance or whatnot, the more information you have as a coach, the better. The more information you have as an athlete, the better, right? Graham, how you doing, my friend? Thank you. If overall weekly volume seems high, then you modify as you see fit. And again, if you take the volume that you're running now, Graham, okay, and you kind of build on that. So, and let's just put this out here really quickly. Let's put out one of these slides just to kind of go over this, Graham. Let's do like a mid-season slide here, right? Week 5. So let's add it up. Let's say 5 miles on Monday. The workout itself, let's say it's 7 miles or 8 miles volume and everything on Tuesday. That's 13. 7 miles on Wednesday. Now we're at 20 miles, 5 miles steady on Thursday. We're at 25 miles. And then warm up drills and strides. Let's just say 8 miles on Friday. That's 33 miles. You do the long run of, let's just say it's 12. It's a 45 miles. So you're at about 50 miles per week right here in week 5 or 6 or something like that, Graham. So if that seems high, then you modify accordingly. Um, Not necessarily, Graham. You build into, you don't need to take an extra rest day. You build into the volume. Again, these are volumes you want to build towards. I should have been more clear about that. So my apologies if I wasn't. You're building towards these volumes. Okay. So, and that's why you see the progressions in the workouts. You'll see I'm adding a little bit of volume and I'm doing it every couple of weeks. So you have time to adapt to it. Okay. So, you don't necessarily have to take an extra rest day. You can reduce the volume of workouts. And again, if you look at the workouts, only in that middle segment are my workout volumes very high. Aside from that, there should be no problem doing 5 miles worth of volume if you're training for a 13-mile race. And if like folks that train for cross country in college or training for 10K, they do 8K to 10K worth of volume in every workout. Every workout. Okay, for the most part. So the race is twice as long. So the volume needs to be somewhat appropriate, but you can't do 13 miles of volume in every workout. That's just it's almost impossible to recover from. That's why I do this the way that I do. Okay, so you can build stuff into the long runs, you can build stuff into the progression runs, right? So as long as the long run is long enough to get you used to running that long stuff, as long as you have a good balance of speed development in your training and race pace stuff in your training, then you'll have a well-balanced training plan, Graham, if that makes sense to you. So do you have any other questions? But if you can run that many days, I encourage you to run that many days. Okay, or even if you need to do a cross training day, do a cross training day. Okay, but these longer races, you want to try to continually build your aerobic fitness over time, especially if you want to move up to the marathon. Okay, keep in mind too, I think of the back end too. The better prepared you are going into your race, the better prepared you are to recover from it well on the back end of it. So that's why I factor in, and I think it's important to do that. At least I do it. I can't speak for everybody else. I factor in your recovery on the back end. I want you to maximize the recovery and I want you to be as prepared for the race as possible. Because if you aren't prepared, this is when you can get hurt. This is when you can really, really get busted up. So you're welcome, Graham. And again, if you have any questions, just send me an email, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. I want to make myself as accessible as possible to everybody that watches this channel. Okay, and everybody that follows my TikTok. Access to Coach is my TikTok. I put a lot of running content on there as well. Okay, but if you know any other runners who you think might benefit from this, bring them to the channel. Make sure they subscribe to the channel. Okay, I encourage everybody, just turn on your notifications. That way, when I go live, you'll know it. And then, Graham, if you're around next Sunday, I'm going to do an updated marathon training program. And you'll see the progression in volume from this plan to that plan. Because there are some similarities in half marathon training, but there are some differences as well. The long runs are obviously going to be a little bit different. The workouts themselves are going to be a little bit different. But the other stuff remains. Speed development is no less applicable. Okay. And again, why speed development is an important part of my thing? I do, William. I stream on TikTok. Yeah, Access to Coach. It's one word. That's my stream. That's my platform on TikTok. And speed development is important because it puts you in a position to be very effective with your running posture. And the more efficient you are, the better off you're going to be on the back end for these longer races. And just to show you, William, that's my TikTok account right there. Access to Coach. I've only done this not even a year, but I have 16,000 followers already. So I would love to match the amount of subscribers here to the followers I have there. But I want to pass 10,000 subscribers on this channel this year. If I can. So your support means the world. And again, like I said, if you know any other runners and coaches who think might benefit from this, let them know about us. Okay. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. So I want to give back to the sport that's been really good to me. So, but anyway, go enjoy the rest of your weekend, gang. Appreciate you so much for coming on. Hope I'll see you next week. Peace.